We are students from the Artawacana Christian University. Today, we are staging our drama with the title Love Story Umbu Delu and Rambu Kahi. Jefry Weru role as Umbu Delu. Ega Novita Ariance Billy role as Rambu Kahi. Susanti Rambu Kubayowi role as Father Rambu Kahi. Yuni Rambu Oramotu role as Mother Rambu Kahi. Bibiana Rambu Bobajoro played a traditional elder one. Destriwanti Patiretang acting as a traditional elder too.
Once upon a time, in the Pasunga region, there lives a girl who was very beautiful to us. Her name is Rambu Kahi. Her beauty was well known all out the land of the Sumba, so that so many young men or kings recommended marrying Rambu Kahi as his wife. But Rambu Kahi is happy with only a beautiful woman, but also has the same face, even though his parents urged him to choose one of the kings or the rich young man. However, Rambu Kahi still did not budge. As a girl growing up, Rambu Kahi is still a human who can fall in love. And secretly, Rambu Kahi has anchored him to an ordinary young man who lived with him. At the beginning of the meeting, on the outskirts of the village, when Rambu Kahi was looking for firewood. At the time, Rambu Kahi was so overwhelmed by upholding the dry wood that she has collected without realizing that a man came over to her. Ashamed, finally, Rambu Kahi accepted the young man's offer, with the young man's step carrying the dry wood while heading for Rambu Kahi's house. They also got acquainted with each other.
My name is Rambu Kahi. What is your name?
Since that incident, Rambu Kahi and Umbu Delu have often met. Sometimes Rambu Kahi accompanies Umbu Delu, who is shepherd, or Umbu Delu accompanies Rambu Kahi looking for firewood. The day the young man and woman get closer and imitate the route while holding hands while walking. This intimacy was smelled by Rambu Kahi's parents, and had reminded Rambu Kahi that Umbu Delu only came from ordinary people, different from the youth who came from the aristocrats and Maramba. However, Rambu Kahi already fell in love with Umbu Ndilu, a young man who always accompanies him. If it was by the rules of logic, it became pure logic until the one Rambu Kahi invited Umbu Delu to flee from the village.
Umbu, let's do
Rambu went to focus come from the rice respect princess.
What does it mean? Umbu don't feel what I feel.
It's okay. That Rambu I do not respect relationship father and mother.
Okay then, let me go out of this village myself. I can't stand it anymore.
What do you mean, Rambu?
You're just like them, don't understand woman.
Okay then we both left go to Kabondo.
Thank you.
Here are two mamuli, one of which is to live on the bed and other to carry on bed they were from. And
Right at the meantime, on the outskirts of the village, Umbu Delu and Grace's house were waiting for the arrival of Rambu Kahi, but the woman who would come did not come until dawn. There was a shout of Rambu Kahi.
Umbu run! Umbu run! Umbu run!
And at the time, Umbu Delu still doesn't care. He still goes to carry the Rambu Kahi. But when the Rambu Kahi is activated, a group of village young has blocked him. Umbu Delu did not want to lose and pull out the print that was stuck under the scabbard. One of the young men immediately pointed his match right into the body of the Umbu Ndilu, but he quickly avoided it while removing the matches at the young man. Once cut, the young man immediately fell, covered in the blood. Seeing his friend who was lying helplessly to other youth was also afraid of his cut.
come on, who is dressed go to forward?
Umbu run, they will catch you.
Rambu Kahi, I don't agree with your action because I want you to marry one of the noble families in our village.
No, I'm still married Umbu Delu.
Rambu Kahi, we don't prohibit you married from anyone, but we only want you marry one of the men in our village, who is a royal blood. Rambu Kahi, remember, we are another family. If you were married to Umbu Delu, how would you live in future?
I don't want to know what my life is like with Umbu Delu. I'm still married to Umbu Delu.
You don't like the maintain your relationship with Umbu Delu? You must listen to what your parents say, because your parents advise good things for your future.
Now that I already love Umbu Delu.
You remember your parents' messages. Parents told you for your good, so you don't take like that. You shouldn't marry Umbu Delu.
Yes, Mom, but I really love Umbu Delu.
Rambu Kahi, remember your mom. Talk like that because you live miserable.
Yes, Dad, remember. But Mom and Dad also have to understand my feelings.
Rambu, don't be like that. We as parents still don't agree.
Whatever reason, I still with Umbu Delu.
Rambu will still disagree. Mama, go.
And without realizing it, Umbu Delu, one of them, appeared from behind him. He Umbu Delu with a large piece of wood and instantly Umbu Delu felt, and several other youths swiftly arrested him. A few days after the incident, rich young men and some kings who want to have Rambu Kahi came to the village to attend the village court about an incident that was considered outrageous. An elder in the village was appointed to try with Umbu Ndilu and Rambu Kahi. After going through, the process was long and discussed with the Rambu Kahi's parents. Finally, the village elder decided.
Rabbi, I, as the customary court, have decided to conclusion Umbu Delu for being thrown on the Hahar forbidden forest in the Hahar region to be raised to be on that table mountain.
As for the forbidden forest, is a forest that is very haunted because there is a rumor that anyone who enters the prohibited forest cannot come out alive. And for Rambu Kahi, in 3 days, he must decide with whom the man he will marry. This decision made this Umbu dumbfounded and then struggled to try to break free from the bonds that held the two astray.
I will only marry Umbu Delu.
But different from Umbu Delu, he just bowed sluggishly, could not say anything for him. This is a destiny from God which must be followed sincerely.
No, Rambu, you must marry one of them, and otherwise, Felix and the pointing and the smiling man.
No, I want to go with Umbu Delu.
You are a woman, Rambu Kahi. Whatever decision they have to do it.
No, for the sake of the Lord, that I step on by David that classes my body, for the sake of the sky, that becomes my robe, and for the sake of the little at their supporter. If I Rambu Kahi doesn't marry Umbu Delu, then I swear I will the lightning in a person track.
The whole village was terrified by a very loud roar, but not the village elder.
No, you must follow this course decision.
No one can touch it.
But wherever power Umbu Delu, he is only one and his hands are tied. With 1 or 2 moves, she was defeated. The young man immediately carried him out of the cart, and Umbu only saw, with a gaze full of deep sadness, his tear had barred onto his face, which has been covered in dirt. Finally, that day, when it was almost night, Umbu Delu was taken to the forbidden forest and threw into it. Without any lighting, Umbu Delu walked through the forbidden forest, different from the Kahi sign. 3 days after the customary court, he was paraded right in the middle of the village, witnesses by the village elder. His parents did not miss the man who wanted to propose to him, with the wild faces of the men as if they want to eat Umbu Kahi with wild gazes. After waiting not long after the court arrived, fully dressed as he ordered.
To Rambu to choose her husband. Today, one of the men who come to propose to her.
The men who were almost there, thousands people in number, immediately smiled their deadly smiles at the girls they like but different from Rambu Kahi. This teenage girl is just a few days, her face partly veneers Her eyes were blank, only sounded faint. She sighed as she said the name Umbu Delu occasionally while far away in the forbidden forest. The man who is called his name in lamenting his girls who is getting married to another man.
Rambu, immediately you choose who among them you will make your husband. But Rambu did not budget. Then elder instead again and again the saying you have to choose one from them, and otherwise I will order some people to kill Umbu Delu. Hearing the name of the young man love the flames of anger in Rambu burned, half screaming. He answered the judge.
Alright, you listen. To you, O Almighty, whose earth are we and a hair, the sweetness feel, hear the prayer of your sing. Let me this from this earth, because I learning from you how to love. I have is only for Umbu Ndilu, one all secrets, for Umbu Ndilu alone. So with this I Rambu Kahi ask you, O rule of the universe, protector of the actors, I ask with a full heart to this from this earth.
And the atmosphere, after saying a prayer that was changed by Rambu, he knocked his head 3 times to the ground, and at the once the wind blew hard. A big roar from the sky shouted a reply. All the village began to get scared. His parents tried to approach him, but like there was another force holding them back.
For you, the Lord of the universe and the rule of the universe, if I Rambu Kahi want to smell from this earth.
Rambu! Rambu!
The atmosphere was getting more and more terrified and mystical. Suddenly it sounds like a junga or a guitar accompanies the screams of Rambu Kahi, and in an instant the great lightning grabbed Rambu Kahi, and Rambu Kahi's body was shattered. His body pieces broke everywhere, but the village were terrified with fear. The mysterious incident was like crazy because the pieces of Rambu Kahi's body, which were scattered, gave off a fragrant aroma, joining villages and men who want to propose to each other, fighting over Rambu Kahi's body. Then left to the parents Rambu Kahi, who cried over Rambu Kahi's departure. It turned out that the mystical event did not stop there. When the day before evening, the pieces of Rambu Kahi's body turned into dry brown leaves and scantiest aromas, which we now call tobacco. And the last but least, another case with Umbu Ndilu. The news about Rambu Kahi was never heard. This sadness finally clumped together in this heart about his love history, which did not until slowly he began to cry. So Rambu Kahi non-stop. Day changed day, months changed months. His cry didn't stop. Finally, his cry became a big river flow, and Umbu Ndilu was petrified because of his stay for many years, but he did not cry. It went on and on, but the flow of the great river never reaches the ocean, but entered a large hole into the earth, which at today we often name a table mountain waterfall.